right, so we are in the analysis and hardening lab, where we are building systems to harden and make them safer and more secure.
So what we set up as far as hardware goes is we have two laptops. Two of them are going to be Linux-based. One's Parrot, one's Ubuntu, and then the last one is going to be a Windows box. And then we got our switch here, so we're configuring the switch.
In this lab, we simulate a small network, and we harden each type of computer within the network according to DoD guidelines using something called a STIG.
And here I'm in the middle of doing some Ubuntu sticks. I already did the 50 other Cisco and Windows ones.
STIG stands for Security and Technical Implementation Guideline. They're published by the DoD at public.cyber.mil.
This lab is a good example of basically building a system and rebuilding it to DoD standards. A lot of places you don't necessarily get to do that because systems are already built. This is allowing us to be able to set everything up from beginning to end.
At the end of this, we're going to analyze and remediate vulnerabilities.
Not only are we learning how to configure systems to public standards that are the highest in the industry, but we also learn how to configure things like switches using iOS, and we learn the differences in configuration between Unix-based systems and Windows.
Throughout this lab and setting up, we get to learn how to troubleshoot different systems that previously we really didn't have any experience on. The best experience is trial and error, and we get a lot of that in here. But in the end, it's definitely worth it. It's a good system to build.
So not only do we get to learn about hardening and keeping our systems safe in here, but we also get to learn about different interfaces. So for example, with the Cisco switches and us trying to configure those as well as harden them, we get to learn a lot about the CLI and those commands that go with it.
By hardening to public standards, not only do we get experience with vulnerabilities and the tools we use to analyze those vulnerabilities, we get experience with the vulnerabilities themselves, which let us export this knowledge to any field we can choose, because now we know exactly in which way things like Unix systems and Windows are vulnerable to certain security exploits.
So we also use the SCC tool and the SCAP scanner to check for vulnerabilities on, well, I did it on Windows and Ubuntu.